She vanished without a trace. No call, no text, not even the decency of a weak excuse. 5 days of silence stretched on like a storm that wouldn't end. Then suddenly, she returned, as if those days had never existed. She walked through the front door with a casual grin, like she'd only stepped out for fresh air. No apology, no explanation, just the expectation that life would resume exactly where she'd left it. I didn't shout. I didn't demand reasons. Instead, I gave her something she would never forget. We'd been together 4 years, long enough for me to think I knew every part of her. The way she'd laugh at her own clumsy mistakes. The way her ice-cold feet would burrow under the blanket, pressing against me until I groaned in protest. The faint scar above her eyebrow, a story from her childhood she'd tease about. Those details made her feel like home to me. But even the strongest-looking house can be hollow inside. It didn't collapse all at once. The unraveling began quietly. A stifled cry quickly hushed when I entered the room. A phone call answered in whispers behind the bathroom door. A sudden whiff of perfume she insisted came from a free sample. I noticed the fractures, I just refused to believe them. Not until one evening when she looked me straight in the eyes and said she needed space, that her mind felt too crowded, that she needed to be alone. I asked if she was okay. She nodded, forced a small smile, and left. Day 1, I told myself she was with family. Day 2, I called and texted, no reply. Day 3, worry curdled into something darker. Sleep abandoned me. My thoughts spun out of control. Accident? Trouble? Or betrayal? My gut whispered the truth I didn't want to face: she wasn't missing. She was exactly where she chose to be, with someone else. By the 5th day, the pleading, the pacing, the panic, all of it stopped. Something hardened inside me. I pulled out our wedding album, not to reminisce, but to remind myself that what we once had was real. I tore apart the framed picture beneath the oak tree. It didn't hurt, it felt like release. Then I packed. Not my belongings, hers. Every dress, every shoe, every trace of her existence in my home folded neatly into a suitcase. I left it by the door like an offering she no longer deserved. Then I went to the small red box where she'd kept every love letter I'd ever written. I emptied it, leaving only a single slip of paper. She returned after midnight, strolling into the living room with that careless "hey," as if 5 days of silence could vanish in one word. But when her eyes landed on the suitcase by the door, her expression faltered. "What's this?" she asked. I handed her the note. Her fingers shook before she even opened it. Her eyes moved across the words, and her face crumbled as she read them. The message was simple. Don't ask where I've been. Ask what I now know. Her lips parted, maybe to beg, maybe to defend, maybe to invent another story. But I didn't stay to hear it. I stood, walked past her, calm and steady. I didn't need her explanations. I already had the truth. Because on the 3rd day, I followed her. I found the hotel. I saw the man. I watched her smile at him the way she once only smiled at me. I didn't confront them. I didn't interfere. I let her believe she was untouchable, shielded from consequence. But silence, when you already know the truth, is the sharpest weapon you can carry. When she finally spoke, it spilled out in excuses. I was confused. I needed closure. It didn't mean anything. But 5 nights in someone else's arms can't be erased by 5 seconds of regret. I stayed composed. No yelling, no insults, just the plain truth. This house is still mine. My peace is still mine. You chose to walk away from both for nothing more than fleeting moments you'll never remember with pride. Then I closed the door behind me. She thought she was returning to the same man, the one who loved her enough to forgive anything. But that man no longer existed. She made her choice, and I made mine. She expected to come back to a life untouched. Instead, she came home to her bags at the door, her lies uncovered, and a man who had finally remembered his worth. That night was the last time I ever saw her.